Hello, everybody! You're watching Prevent-a-thon 4. I am Nick RP Green. You may remember me from such speedruns as Metal Gear Solid just a few hours ago, but I'm back and I'm here as your host throughout this wonderful run of Stray. We've got soulmass218 and they are going to be petting all of those robots. It's over to you, Soulmass.
Thank you. I am soulmass218. I'm going to be playing Stray, any percent glitchless for you, as well as petting all of the robots. Thank you so much for meeting that incentive. I also have Bridget with me on comms. Bridget, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure thing. Hi, my name is Bridget. I do not actually know a whole lot about this game, so I'm excited to learn a little bit throughout the course of this run. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Going to give us a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. So anyway, this is Stray. People colloquially just refer to it as the cat game, because at the time it came out, it was just the cat game for everybody. It was very popular. In this category with glitchless, you're not going to be seeing very much of the flashy out-of-bounds movement or any, obviously, glitches. It's just going to be a lot of the main gameplay mechanics with a little bit of optimization as far as things we are allowed to do. As far as some movement during cutscenes and some other small things. But we're starting off here at the beginning, meeting our cat and their cat family. We got to start things off cute before things get a little bit more grim for our kitty. Bridget, have you ever seen this game before?
Very little of it. I followed some speedruns of it and some silly run categories for a little while right around the time this game kind of came out, but I didn't keep up with them too much, so looking forward to seeing, relatively speaking, how the game is supposed to be played.
Yeah, for the most part, this is how the game is going to be played. I'm going to be mashing through all the text boxes throughout the run, so we're not going to see much story. So we'll try and talk about as much of the story as we can, so you know kind of what's going on. But otherwise, yes, this is how the game was meant to be played. We're going to go to sleep, and we're going to start the intro sequence of the game, which is basically a small area with such a tutorial. We're going to be learning how to jump on things, run around, how to meow.
Oh.
Meowing is important for the run, and we'll find out about that later. But first, a short little cutscene and some lead-in. So, Nick, if you have anything that you would like to say, you have a little bit of time here.
That we have a $60 donation from Hepanwana, who said, "Thank you for letting me deliver you all to the moon. I need to see the full clear on the final Peggle level. Good luck to the runners, and thank you to the Prevent-a-thon staff, volunteers, and runners for putting on this important and amazing event." And with that, we have indeed met that incentive for the full clear on the final Peggle level. Thank you, everyone who's been donating so far. Please keep them coming in.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Thank you, Hepanwana. And that run was amazing. I had fun watching it while I was preparing for my Stray run. So here we're just getting introduced to this outside area, which is nice and beautiful. A stark contrast to what the rest of the game is largely going to be, which is sort of this dystopian cyberpunk future that we're going to literally fall into and need to escape, which is the impetus of all of our gameplay. But like I said here, we're going to finally get control of our cat again and learn the basics of being a cat. Unfortunately, we're going to skip a few things that aren't really necessary to the run, like scratching objects, sleeping on objects. We will have some of that in the game, but not very much.
So we met the incentive for something called petting the robots a little earlier in the stream. Could you tell me a little more about that? What does that imply?
So in this dystopian future, there aren't any humans anymore. The only NPCs we're going to encounter are going to be robots, and the game has some interactions on, I think it's like 12 or 13 robots, where you can actually nuzzle up against their legs. One of them you can snuggle on the robot that's sleeping. It's really cool that those interactions are in the game, and you don't get to see them normally in a speedrun, because obviously it's slow to stop and smell the roses like that. So I created this little category of what I call love percent, where we actually do all of those interactions. So again, thank you all so much for donating toward making this happen. I love showing off love percent. But we are here, we're approaching the end of our tutorial area. We're getting our cutscene here where we are going to get separated for our cat family, and like I said, literally fall into the game. This is a part of mild animal peril, so if you don't want to see the kitty fall down, you might want to look away for just a second. But I promise the cat's fine. Because we're about to have cat game after all.
I love the animations in this game. Like the cat moves like a cat would move. Like that little like revving up to jump there right before she jumped. It's great.
Yes. I love it. And then also the way all the other cats are like looking down at them.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing down there? They definitely were studying their personal cats when they were making this game.
Right.
And Kitty's going to be shaking it off here real quick. We're a little bit dizzy after the fall. And we're about to get a short little introduction to our first main enemy in the first half of the game. So here the first half of the game is going to be these enemies that are little head crab looking things if you've ever played Half-Life. And they're called Zerks, and they like to eat trash and pretty much everything else at this point. So what we want to do is avoid them at all costs. Thankfully, we don't see very much of them at the very beginning here. This is just teasing us that they are present as a threat going forward. And now we finally get to start running Stray. Now, if anybody does want to drop some donations about their cats, I'd love to hear about your cats. But also, something that has to do with this cat here, this orange cat. We just kind of call it the orange cat because it doesn't have a proper name in the game. So if you have a name that you think fits this orange cat, let me know in your donations. And here we begin to see the primary part of the game, which is going to be platforming with prompts. So there's only specific things that you can jump on as far as ledges and objects, and you'll see prompts pop up because I have the prompts enabled so I know which ones they are and when I can jump on them. So there's going to be a lot of me mashing buttons when I need to get onto these prompts, and then also picking up objects to solve small puzzles. So here I grab this little bucket because I need to stop this fan so we can proceed forward. And then knock down some paint buckets because, you know, we're a cat. We gotta knock things off of ledges.
Wouldn't be a cat game without that as like a primary core mechanic.
Here, sometimes you can get that in 2 pushes, but we got the 3 pushes, which is more normal.
What determines that factor? Is it just entirely RNG?
It's totally RNG, unfortunately. So we just like to see it when it happens. Here's our first hint that this may be more of a horror game than we may have been led to believe at first. But I promise it's not really that scary. But we do get our proper introduction here to the Zerks. which is going to be our first chase sequence of the game, where we're going to be running away from them and learning that we have to mash the meow button in the game to knock them off of us. Now, normally, this would be a process of actually having to mash the button to get them off of you before the screen turns totally red and you have to reset the checkpoint. But there is an accessibility option in the menus of the game where you only need to press the button once to knock them off of you. And I have that enabled so that my poor arthritis-ridden hand will not have to deal with mashing the button any more than it has to.
We love accessibility options.
I love them so much. Another one that you'll notice is this big crosshair in the middle of the screen. You don't have to have a crosshair turned on, and I don't believe it is turned on by default in the game, but you have the option to turn on a reticle in case you need a little bit of assistance in knowing exactly where your camera is pointed, which helps me a lot in the speedrun. But here we've already escaped all of these Zerks. And now we're going to enter a section with a whole lot of precise platforming. So while I'm doing all of this, Nick, if you have anything else that you'd like to say.
I absolutely do. We have a bid war live at the moment, which is to select the file name for the Celeste All Cassettes run. We had $3.14 on Archipelago. However, a new challenger has entered the bid war, Canadian, which was a suggestion from Zokabun, put $5 towards it, saying, "Don't let your memes be dreams." Smiley face.
Thank you so much, Zoku.
If you like Canadian, then put your money towards that. If you want to see Archipelago get back into the lead, well, you know what to do. Or if you have your own suggestion, you can, of course, make your own with your own donation.
All right, that completes the first little half of the platforming in this section. We've got just a little bit more tight platforming going up this vertical space, and then we're going to be heading to the next checkpoint area of the game, which is called the Flat, which involves a lot of very quick movement and optimization. Really, a lot of this game is optimizations to deal with exactly which platforms you want to jump on, because some are faster to walk across than others. And if your camera is not pointed the right way, you might jump onto the wrong platforms, because there's a lot of stuff you can interact with in the game that we don't want to interact with in order to proceed in the speedrun. So we try to avoid clicking on those as much as possible. But here we are about to enter the Flat. And here we are going to meet our mainstay friend of the run. I look forward to introducing you all to him. But first, a step on a keyboard. Ooh, we got the asterisk. Nice. Let's see some asterisks in chat, please. I'm going to run over to the door before the cutscene opens, and here's where I'm going to be concentrating a little bit. So again, Nick, you got anything you want to say while I'm doing this for a couple seconds?
Absolutely. Your donations, folks, keep on coming in. We've got $5 from Alara, who says, "Stray! I can't wait to see this run. Break a leg, Soulmass." And
thank you so much, Alara.
Alara put that towards another bid war that we currently have open to determine which version of Peggle is going to be run as our last run of today. Will it be Peggle Deluxe or will it be Peggle Nights? It is up to you, dear viewers, to decide with your bits and your donations, which we greatly appreciate.
I love Peggle speedruns so much. No matter what we get to see, I'm going to love watching it.
It's a great
But please get
game.
those donations in. But here's our friend. This is B12.
Oh, he's a little guy.
He's just a little guy. Now, since we are a cat, we can't really communicate well with all of the other NPCs in the game. So B12 is going to be our liaison to communicate with all the other robots and technology within the game. And I love this little guy. He's so cute. Also love this interaction of the cutscene of them meeting.
Yeah, that seems like about how it would go.
But also, how does the cat understand B12?
Great question.
That's a great question. We're not going to worry about it.
I guess it speaks cat. I don't know.
This is the beginning of me, like I said, mashing through text boxes, which is going to be a mainstay for the rest of the run. If you play on PC, you can bind these text boxes to your scroll wheel, so it's a little bit easier. But I am unfortunately playing on Xbox. Or sorry, on PlayStation 5. So I'm going to be mashing quite a lot on my controller. And you might be thinking, how did I know that code for the door? Well, the code is the same every time, so there's a couple different codes in the game that we just have memorized. But here, we're in the bucket, so it's time to spin! Enough spins for now. We'll have more buckets later. This cutscene introduces the main story of the game for us as far as how we're going to get out of this place. There's these robots known as the Outsiders who believe that there is an outside area based off everything that they're able to see left over by the humans in this place. And those few robots want to escape. So we're going to try and meet the Outsiders to try and find our way out of here back to our family. But first, more spins.
A notably more perilous spin than the last.
And here we've entered the slums, which is where we're going to finally start seeing these robot NPCs that we're going to be loving on.
Oh.
But right now they're a little scared of us because I don't know if they've ever seen a cat before. They are understandably on edge because of the threat of Zerks, but we're clearly not a Zerk. This character here is called the Guardian, and they're going to be the person who's going to confirm that we are indeed just a cat. I'm going to give them a meow real quick. Alright, so as soon as we get out of this cutscene of everybody finding out that it's actually safe to be around me, we are going to love on our first robot, which is the Guardian, and then start a sequence of collecting some items, which we would have been told that we need to collect if we went and visit a character called Momo, who is one of the Outsiders. But we're not going to actually go visit him. We're going to collect all the items first, then go see Momo at the end. So here's the Guardian telling us where Momo lives. Now we're going to collect everything Momo wants, but first, love on the Guardian.
Alright.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to focus up because this part has a lot of intense movement. Bridget, are you aware of the story of like these Outsiders and what they're trying to do?
Admittedly, no. I would love to. I would love to learn.
Well, again, this first one is an Outsider named Momo. We're going to meet him in a moment. But right now we're collecting the journals of all of the other outsiders.
I see.
Unfortunately for Momo, he's the only outsider left here in the slums. All of the other ones have gone, and he thinks that he's been left behind.
Aw.
We need to collect all the journals to prove that that's not the case, that they're all working to get out of this place, and they're all still his friends. I'm doing some particular platforming here on these books to knock over the books. That way I can immediately have access to this safe, which we just picked up the keys for. And again, a lot of this is just optimization of inputs and movement. We've got one more journal we need to collect. It's over here. You're going to notice these robots over here are tossing paint buckets back and forth. More on them later, because this isn't the last time we're going to be in the slums. But here we need to jump up onto some boxes and knock them over to reveal our last journal. There it is. And keep on doing cat things. We're going to scratch on this curtain to open up the window.
What a good feature. What a good mechanic.
Yes, this game actually does a great job of making you feel like you are a cat. There's plenty of things to do that are just vibing in the world and not have to do with the story itself. But this is Momo. As you can see, again, Momo's very sad. Can't get in contact with his friends. Thinks his friends have left him behind. We're about to let Momo know that his friends are still around. He's saying, "Oh, go get their journals for me." Well, I already have them. Here you go, Momo. So Momo's going to repair this receiver, and he wants me to attach it to this big tall tower up on the rooftops so that he can try and get in contact with the outsiders who escaped the slums. Unfortunately, this rooftop area is infested with Zerks, so here's our first, like, dangerous area of the game. While I'm avoiding some Zerks here at the very beginning of rooftops, again, Nick, if you have anything you wanted to say, now's a good time.
Absolutely. We've been seeing a lot of love already for Stray. But you know who we love? We love Little Warriors. Just a reminder that is who we're raising money for. Little Warriors is a national charitable organization focused on the awareness, prevention, and treatment of child sexual abuse. They also advocate on behalf of and with child sexual abuse survivors. For more information, visit littlewarriors.ca or type !info in chat. Cat. Sounds like cat.
So true.
Chat, are you cats?
Come on, chat.
I know you're cute, but are you cats?
Press 1 if you're a cat.
Here, there's something where we would normally have to trap the Zerks in that cage, but what we're going to do is just bypass that entirely and run them over with this barrel. Much faster.
Barrels are powerful in this game.
But also not very safe, because the Zerks can still get into them, which we're going to find out here in a moment when we get to a strat that we like to call Death Barrel, because it used to be extremely dangerous when we had to mash the button. It's not quite as bad now that we don't have to mash the button to get the Zerks off of us. But as you can see, we're getting into this building here, which is extremely infested with these Zerks. It's quite creepy in this place. The placement of the Zerks in these areas is RNG. So we just kind of mash our way through them. Again, before we were able to do that with accessibility. it was more of an issue, but now we can just kind of mash and run. Here is the eponymous death barrel. So I'm going to keep this thing moving while mashing. I'm going to use B12 to open the gate while we're in the barrel.
Oh.
And keep the barrel moving. Now, normally what we would do, what we'd be doing in this section is opening that gate and leading the Zerks away to an area where they can't get to us so we can safely jump into the barrel. But it's much faster to just get in the barrel and keep on moving. And now here, there's a sort of auto-scroll segment where I have to wait for an elevator. So, if you have any thoughts, Bridget, what are you thinking of the game so far?
I mean, it's adorable. I've talked about the animation already. I love it. Like it's so cat. Like this is how a cat would behave. I know these devs have cats. But aside from that, I like it. I love the just conceptually the idea of showing us this like kind of dystopian like future cyberpunk society from the like lens of just a normal cat. Like, who would have thought of that? I love it.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've gotten a lot of cat games since then, which have done the more normal thing, which is kind of like being a cat in a more normal world.
Right.
I kind of love that the first, like, major stylistic cat game that we got for modern consoles was this one. This sci-fi, dystopian, almost horror game.
Right.
It's quite inspired. But here again, we've activated the transceiver on this tower so that Momo can contact the outside. I've counted. There's 18 lights on here. We gotta slowly wait for them. So Nick, if you've got anything you'd like to say.
Yeah, we've not had any donations yet in that talk about a name for the orange catch. We wanna see what names you folks can come up with for our orange little friend here. I'd posit my own. I have a cat called Eli. I can actually see him from where I am right now. He's asleep on the sofa. But he's named after Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid, which is a bit of a different bit of a different style of game to this one. So come on, chat. What are your suggestions for our little cat friend?
You say that now, but there are actually stealth sections at the end of this game.
Yes.
So let's go, Metal Gear Cat Solid.
Meow toolkit. That didn't work.
All right, so we are entering now the slums once more, but Momo's not home. He left us a note though, so we know that we need to go meet Momo somewhere else. So we're gonna go do that now. He's not far away. Notice we've had a couple bucket rides, so of course I'm gonna give you some spins. But Momo right down here waiting for us. Let's go.
Oh, there he is.
Momo's gonna give us some pets. Thank you, Momo. Gotta pet the cat too.
Is that a CRT?
Yeah, you love this big CRT.
You want to play Melee with us?
Momo. Momo's trying to connect to the outside and getting a response from one of his friends who is Balthazar. Balthazar is kind of a computer genius. And Balthazar is saying that another one of the outsiders, Doc, has a way to get rid of the Zerks and escape the slums. Unfortunately, his son here at the bar, Seamus, is saying, well, Doc hasn't been around in a long time. I don't think Doc is coming back. Seamus isn't feeling very good. So we need to prove to Seamus that Doc is still around. But first I'm going to do this thing where I'm going to lead Momo over this way, and then we're going to go visit those painters while Momo goes on this path around this building. It's just an optimization to save a little bit of time here in this section of the game. Now the reason we do this is because it's going to anger the robot here inside the laundromat and let him open the door. We need to get inside there to grab an object for this particular segment. So now the door is open so we can get that object. Momo should be waiting for us down here. Come on, Momo. Another thing you may notice me doing throughout the run is pulling out B12 with the flashlight here. Now, the flashlight is a useful thing if you need to see in the dark places, but every time that we need to actually speak to an NPC, B12 has to come out of this backpack on our back. So if we have him out, he's already outside of the backpack, which saves just fractions of a second every time one of these text boxes pops up.
That's fun tech. I like that.
Gotta save every little bit of time.
Yeah.
But here we're finally gonna meet Seamus personally. If we show him Doc's journal, he's gonna know that Doc didn't leave him behind. It mentions a secret room. We're about to uncover the secret room. And in here lie the secrets of Doc's experiments to find a way to stop the Zerks. Thankfully, we have plenty of time while Seamus is walking over here to grab that item off of the top there before we have to interact. Alright, we found a broken radio. Seamus says, hey, I know somebody who can fix this, but you're going to have to go to them for me. These robots like to send the cat into all the dangerous areas and to do all the chores. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a bold choice.
Here we're going to, again, go to the laundromat, grab some detergent for reasons. Because the merchant over here will actually trade us some cable for this detergent. And then we're going to take this cable over to an NPC named Grandma, who we are going to love on. We gotta love Grandma.
Grandma.
And what she's going to do is knit us a parka out of this cable. What we're going to do with this is give it to the robot who knows how to fix the radio. Because that robot is very cold. Don't ask me how the robot feels cold. The robot feels cold.
Yeah, these robots are very human. Like, they can be scared. They can apparently be made uncomfortable by temperature. I love it.
Yeah, it's very interesting that they all act like they're human, even though they aren't.
Yeah.
It's something that you pick up in the speedrun just from context of clues, but you do get a little bit of actual world building about that if you interact with what's called memories throughout the game, which are these collectibles that we get for B12, where B12 will reveal some of the lore of the world. But essentially, all of these robots are pretending to be human because, I mean, they inherently remember that human society existed, even though humans aren't around anymore, and instinctually have recreated it. It's some sort of longing for the humans who are no longer here.
Oh, so we've got kind of a Nier Automata situation going on here.
We do. The game definitely has a lot to say about environmentalism and about anthropocentrism in society. But we're not going to say any of that because we're just speedrunning. Once Seamus gets onto these steps, I'm free to go love on a couple more robots. Let's go. These two right here. I love the little hearts on their faces.
Yeah.
Alright, so now that we've given the radio to Seamus, Seamus was able to get in contact with an SOS signal coming from this area outside of the slums. And like I said, we're the only one who's fit for this mission. The robots aren't going to do it. So we're getting sent into this Zerk-infested area to rescue Doc, which is Seamus's dad.
Interesting. So the Zerk will attack robots too?
Yep, the Zerk are ready to just about eat anything at this point.
Interesting.
Again, a thing that we find out in the lore is that these Zerk were originally bacteria which were engineered to dispose of all the trash in the city. But over the years without humans, the Zerk have mutated and multiplied and grown to enormous size. So now they're just these giant bacteria trying to devour everything in sight. Here's our second chase sequence with the Zerks. This one's not quite as bad as the first one. Pretty straightforward, so Nick, if you got anything you'd like to say.
Yeah. We're obviously loving all the cats. And we're obviously loving all the chats. But if you're loving Prevent-a-thon and would like to keep up to date with when runs are going live and all the other news throughout the year, make sure you're following us on social media, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, or of course you can join the lovely Prevent-a-thon Discord server, where there is a lovely community all waiting to share their cat pictures, cat puns, and have a really nice cat time. I don't know. I'm trying to get the word cat in as much as I can because we all love cats. Oh, this game's adorable.
This is indeed the cat game. We're gonna have another mild moment of peril for the kitty as the kitty gets flung out here, but again, I assure you the kitty's fine.
Yeah, cats can fall from any height. Like, they don't have fall damage turned on.
That's actually true. Cats in real life can fall from extremely high heights and be just fine. So once again, they incorporated that into the game. Here, there's some finicky platforming up these pipes. I kind of keep the camera pointed upwards so that we don't accidentally jump back downward onto anything. Good, we made it through that. And in this building over here, surrounded by Zerks, we're going to encounter Doc. What's up, Doc?
You know, I was going to make the comparison earlier that Seamus is kind of wearing the Marty McFly fit, and now I wish that I had.
Oh, yeah, you're seeing it now.
Is that intentional?
Now. It is intentional. Doc even makes a 1.21 gigawatts reference right here.
Oh, I saw it.
He needs that much to power up this device that he's holding called the Defluxor, which is what we can use to kill the Zerks and get out of here.
Man, I still regret not saying that earlier. That would have been so much more intentional.
Yep, this is indeed Doc and Marty.
Love that.
This be a reference to Cat to the Future. That was terrible, I apologize.
Absolutely it is. The hit franchise from the 80s that we all remember, Cat to the Future.
And recently got a Broadway musical.
It did.
It's actually so good.
I know.
Can't recommend it more.
Alright, this again is a segment where it used to be extremely dangerous and we had to mash our button to get the Zerks off of us. Now it's not quite as bad. So we'll take the left path here because it's slightly faster, but there's more Zerks. And we're quickly through there. Doc is quite pleased because we're about to finally escape. He's been trapped here for quite some time. But for some reason, yeah, we're not going to carry around this big flashlight. We're going to install the defluxor on B12. So I get to control the defluxor. You'll notice there's a little meter next to B12. If we let that go up too high, the defluxor will overheat B12. And we'll have to wait a little while for the meter to go down before we can use it again. So we kind of have to manage this meter and not overuse it to save time in this segment. So all of this segment is about the best usage of the defluxor. You can see it's essentially a UV lamp, which makes sense because bacteria are killed by UV light.
Good point.
I'm going to wait here to get a certain interaction from the AI so that the AI starts walking immediately. It's a little bit faster than running right across the bridge, and Doc will just walk very slowly across the bridge. Again, slight optimizations like that will save time throughout the run. Doc needs us to open this door, so we're going to move this barrel over to an open window so we can get on the other side and open the door for him. And then I'm going to do some fancy stuff. That's pretty much only what a speedrunner would do. I'll call it out when I get to it.
That's why we're here.
Kind of dangerous, but we're speedrunners. Alright, so here we can hang back and kind of take our time to deal with all the Zerks. But a speedrunner, we're just going to fly right in here. And we're going to actually go outside and get the Zerks off of Doc. This saves time, because Doc normally struggles while we're shooting the Zerks. He's going to start pulling the door down while we're outside. I'm going to rush back in, get the few Zerks that try to rush in, and that saves quite a lot of time than standing inside here and letting all the Zerks come in while Doc is trying to shut the door.
Oh, I see.
Because they will all swarm in here and you will overheat your defluxor very quickly. But this is it for Doc. We're just going to have to wait for him to open a couple doors to trigger the cutscenes to get out of this section of the game. So, Nick, this is another good time to say a few things if you have them.
If you are not already in the Prevent-a-thon Discord server, I can tell you that this run has already started the sharing of cat pictures. So if you want even more cat, there's another reason to get onto the Prevent-a-thon Discord server. In the meantime, though, after a quick Super Mario Galaxy, we have a run that does have an open bid war. That is the run for Celeste or Cassettes. It's a file name bid war. You get to choose the file name at the start of the run. We have two options currently available. Archipelago with $3.14, but in the lead is Canadian with $5. You can, of course, pick your own. All you got to do is head over to the donation page, make sure you select the Celeste or Cassettes file name bid war, and enter whatever name your little kitty heart desires.
Let's do it. Get those names in.
That scene was adorable.
We just had one of my favorite cutscenes in the game, which is that one where Seamus and Doc get reunited. A little bit of optimization there, running away from the Guardian before the Guardian speaks to us, so we can get closer to this door before it opens. And now we're going to head into the next area of the game, which is the sewers, because every game's got to have a sewer section if it's a horror game, right? So Momo and I are gonna make our way through the sewers. This is kind of our downtime section right in the middle of the game where we're gonna be sitting on this raft with Momo. We're not gonna be doing a lot for the very first part of it. So again, if you need to get up and grab a drink, remember to stay hydrated. You need to take your medications, take your medications. Get up, take a stretch, grab a snack, do whatever you need to do. Take care of yourselves, everybody.
Go and give your cat a pet.
True.
Yes, this place is creepy. I agree, Momo. So he's going to take us on the short raft ride at first to a small area where we're going to have to hit a lever, avoid some zerks, and then jump back onto the raft. And then there's going to be a much longer raft ride after that. And then we'll get into the sewers proper, which is another area with quite a lot of zerk infestation, as you might expect. This is kind of the climax of the zerk enemy portion of the game. We are not going to see them anymore after we get out of the sewers. Let's go. This is, again, optimized movement section. I'm just going to try and get through here as quickly as possible. You're going to notice that the zerks exist in these kind of like egg sacs. We're going to try and avoid the egg sacs, so we only have to deal with as many of them as we have to. Oh, I must have had one stuck on me. That's interesting. I didn't notice it. Like, I did not see it grab onto me at all.
Oh, yeah, it was on your little cat head.
I hate that they just like, they kind of blend in because they're the same sort of orangish color.
Yeah, it's true.
It's fine though, there's a checkpoint right here. It's not really a big time loss. And just like that, we're back on the raft. Let's go. So yes, this section here, as we're making our way to the next port, is a little bit longer. So Nick, if you got a little bit of a spiel you want to go through, you got some time.
Now is a good time. A reminder to everyone that we are, of course, raising money for Little Warriors. Little Warriors is a national charitable organisation focused on the awareness, prevention and treatment of child sexual abuse. They also advocate on behalf of and with child sex abuse survivors. For more information, please visit littlewarriors.ca, or you can also type !info in chat. Remember, we've got lots of commands in chat that you can use if you need any information. I'm going to keep plugging our Discord server because there's so many more pictures of cats coming into the general chat. So yeah, type in !Discord, get over to that Discord server, and of course, keep your donations coming in for Little Warriors.
I cannot wait to look at the Discord server after the run and see all those cats.
Yeah.
Now here, Momo, unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave behind. There's this, we got the trope of the big heavy door that can only be held open for us to get through. So
Of course.
Momo's gonna hold the door open so that we can proceed forward and be one of the outsiders. We've officially gained outsider status. Of course, smash through a text box so fast you probably won't see it. And here I'm just pointing at Momo so I can get through this text box as quickly as possible. And now it's time for the sewers, which is a movement-heavy area of the game. For a long time, I held the IL record for this particular section because nobody else wanted to play it, I think. It's kind of perilous and finicky with the jumping. But I don't know. When the game first came out and we were routing through it and trying to figure out the best way to do things quickly, I really latched onto this area. I like the mood of the sewers. I generally like to speedrun games that are very movement heavy as opposed to glitches. So this particular section definitely scratched that itch for me.
Right behind the ear, right?
Right behind the ear, yes. Gonna avoid as many of these as possible. That's alright, we escaped. That's another room that, again, used to be a lot more dangerous before accessibility. So thank you so much for the option not to have to mash the button. And here again, you can see this place is absolutely infested. We've got these creepy eyeballs on the walls. And now we're here heading into the final room, which casually you'll probably want to avoid all these Zerks, but speedrun optimally, we're just going to run right on through everything. Direct lines only. We got to open this door, which involves hitting a switch on each side of it. So we got one switch activated, which angers all the Zerks. And then quickly run over to the other side. No sweat. Another reason I like this area is we get this really neat cutscene. This is kind of a horror-like cutscene.
Oh.
Get to see the big Mama Zerk, as I call her.
Oh.
So she's calling all the babies over to us, but B12 is going to be our savior here. And like I said, if you use the defluxor too much, it will overheat and short circuit our friend B12. So we got to rescue B12 and escape at this point. So a short chase sequence as we escape from the sewers.
I remember keeping up with the no running category of this game for a little while after it came out, and this is like the most difficult segment in that category.
Yes, because all of those that swarm you in that initial tunnel, they will just they'll annihilate you.
Yeah, and as I recall, you have to like wait for a door to open here towards the end, right?
The door thankfully opens on its own.
Okay.
But still, it's just you have so many Zerks coming at you in this area that if you're not running, it's very dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. Oh right, it's that you have to beat the door closing. That's the problem.
And we're gonna wake up B12 because B12's fine. Just had to take a little breather. But we'll never be able to use the defluxor again. It's broken.
Oh.
But thankfully, again, we're not going to encounter any more Zerks, so that's real convenient. We're going to exit the sewers into what is probably my favorite area of the game. It's just this little tiny area called the Ant Village. There's a lot to do here casually. A lot of cool little interactions with robots. In a speedrun, you're just gonna blink and miss this area.
So play it for yourself is what you're saying.
Exactly. Play this game for yourself and enjoy the amazing atmosphere here in the Ant Village. Gonna mash through some story here so that you don't get spoilers on B12's story. Alright, let's go. There's a slightly faster path here, but I like to jump onto the game because that's cat things.
They're in such despair over their game being messed up.
And here we've met Balthazar. This is the computer genius of the Outsiders. Kind of taking care of this area called the Ant Village, while trying to keep in contact with everybody else. We get to love on Balthazar, though. And like I said, blink and you miss it. We are on our way out of the Ant Village. Balthazar handed us a little item that belongs to the last of the Outsiders, who we're going to meet in the next area. Her name is Clementine, which is also what I named my cat. If you've seen any of the promotional stuff for the game and a lot of the trailers, this is one of the main areas you'll see in a lot of it. This is Midtown. This is the flashy, neon-ridden dystopian area of the game. It's quite interesting to look at. A lot of verticality. Really cool.
Nice.
But here we're seeing a subway that's powered down and not working. This is going to be eventually the way that we get out of here. But we got to find a way to reactivate it. Now this is really what you donated for Pet the Robots. This is where most of the robots are that we're going to interact with, starting with this one that's hidden over here. They don't quite know what to think of us, but we're going to snuggle against them anyway. Welcome to Midtown. There's one here that we're going to get on the way by. And now we're on our way to Clementine's apartment. This is where routing is different in this love percent category, because there is a certain portion here that we do a little bit differently in any percent, where we don't have to actually interact with the robots, because there's a timed portion. And I'm going to use that time portion to love on robots instead of what we would normally do in any percent.
As you should.
Yes. So a little bit of a routing change by getting these cameras early. Those dancer robots down there at the bottom of that courtyard don't like the cameras because security doesn't want them playing their boombox and dancing in the courtyard. So I'm getting rid of the cameras for them before they ask me to. And meet Clementine. Clementine is, again, the last outsider and the one who's going to help us really be our final escape from this bunker.
This character feels so stylized. Is it also supposed to be a reference to something?
I think a French freedom fighter.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Not the direction I thought we were going, but I'll
yeah, because Clementine is kind of like a resistance character.
Nice.
So this underground resistance. Because our main enemy in this portion of the game are sentry robots.
Oh.
And they're much more dangerous than the Zerks. We'll get to them soon. But first I'm going to start the time portion. We're going to wake up this robot who fell asleep on the job. He's supposed to be working right now, so let's wake him up so we get back to shift. While he's making his way over to where he's supposed to be, we're going to take care of loving on the rest of the robots here in this area. Starting with the cowboy. Let's give him some snuggles. A couple more over here. And there's a police robot that we can love on, but they don't quite know what to think of us. They don't quite like it. So I'm going to take that cassette tape and put it in this boombox over here. It's going to be real loud. And this shopkeeper is going to be like, no, turn that racket off. use that as an opportunity to take this worker jacket off the shelf. That's going to make more sense in a moment. You can see me spinning in the box as we wait for this robot to pick up the box. They definitely did not notice me jump into the box for some reason. And you can see there's a worker helmet there in the window. That's what we are after right now. So we'll stealth our way in here by jumping into a box. Again, Metal Gear Cat Solid.
Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
And now that we've got the disguise, we're going to go meet Clementine's contact, Blazer. Blazer is going to help us get into this factory where we're going to get the atomic battery for the subway.
Does that imply that
like,
the public transportation here is nuclear powered? Because that's wild.
It might be. I didn't get the jump into the box. Sometimes you can jump into that box before this this section, and it causes a little graphical glitch. Is kind of funny, and it saves a little time. But I didn't get it, so that's okay. Now here is where we're going to be introduced to the Sentry robots. They are quite terrifying. This is what we're really scared of as speedrunners. What they do is they have areas that they scan, and if they see you, they will shoot you with like electrical bolts which stun you and send you back to checkpoint. So they are quite frightening. But we're going to run right on past them as if they don't exist. Surely that will be okay. I'm going to take a wide path and then swing around here to hopefully all the bolts miss, which they do. And then this one is okay. It doesn't normally see you. And then from here forward, it doesn't really matter if they see you, because we're going to be moving so fast that they'll never catch up to us. Normally what you do is you'd be hiding in the shadows behind these moving crates to get through here stealthily. As a speedrunner, we don't need stealth. I am going to use the meow here to alert these robots so that they look for where I meowed instead of chase after me.
Man, talk about Metal Gear.
So yes, they're going to stay back there looking for me while I escape in this barrel. And here's a kind of small puzzle here to get the battery from this room. We're going to interact with these moving bookcases as they were. And use them as platforms to get around here and to get on these pressure plates. As you see them get on the pressure plates, you'll see this column in the middle move up and down. The battery is right there. Now the game does run like at very low FPS on PS4. I'm playing on PS5, so it's not really that bad. But this room in particular, you're going to notice frame drops from the battery for some reason. Don't adjust your TV. That's just the game. All right, we've got the battery. Let's take it back to Clementine, all right? We got one more bucket, so let's spin. One more spin.
Is this the last bucket?
The last bucket. There will be no more buckets.
They will be missed.
And back on our way to Clementine's apartment now, we've got the battery. And you might be saying, wow, this area was really quick. This game is just actually much shorter than I imagined. Nope. We've got quite a bit more to do here in Midtown, unfortunately. As you can see, there's some sentry robots here. Clementine is now on the run. Clementine has been discovered. So we're going to get... Oh, no. That's bad. We're okay, though.
Oh.
I didn't mean to bonk on that wall. I'm gonna meow here. So if that robot doesn't see me. It saw me anyway. All of that went off the rails real quick because I bonked on one wall. That's stray speedrunning, everybody. It's fine. We'll do it again. Properly this time. Because like I said, the sentry bots are really the most dangerous thing in this game. You do not get much time to avoid them if they see you. And they will track your movement and shoot ahead of where you're moving. Let's try this one more time. We have to take a very particular path through here so that the sentry bots don't shoot us. Alright, we're doing better this time. We're gonna jump here, we're gonna meow. Still saw me this time, that's fine. Made it through without getting shot.
This has to be the only game that prompts the phrase, "we're gonna meow," as much as it does during a run.
So Clementine's not here, but Clementine left some clues to where she ran off to. Something about Blazer. Oh, didn't get to see that text box. It doesn't matter. This is the hardest jump in the game for some reason. Give me the X. There we go. And Blazer's at the nightclub. Clementine has gone to the nightclub to meet Blazer. Let's go to the nightclub. Alright, do they know I'm here? Yes, they do. I'm going to do a backup strat to this so they don't shoot me here. Or they'll do it anyway. They were just like inside the walls. That's fine. Sometimes I just like get stuck in the walls like that and there's no way to get past them.
So these things one-shot you.
Yes, they do.
Yikes.
Let's see. Do I need to redo this? No. Okay, thankfully. I don't often die at this part. Could say that's never happened before. You saw nothing. Okay. Get down, please. Cat got a mind of its own. Very cat-like. Alright, we've got 2 more robots to love on. These are the last 2 for the love percent category. So again, thank you so much for donating to make this happen. One of the dancers here waiting in line outside the club. And now to get into the club, we gotta talk to a robot named Alex, who's chilling here at the window. He's gonna be a friend and let us into the club. He's gonna walk over to the couch. We're gonna do a couple things while he's making his way over there. A little bit of fetch questing. Grab a drink for this robot. Grab the handle from the robot. And now love on Alex. And get a thumbs up. Let's go. We finished love percent.
So is there any gameplay difference that results from loving on all the robots, or is it just for funsies?
It's just for funsies.
Love that.
Yeah, it's something we don't normally see in the speedrun at all, so...
Right.
Oh no! We jumped off. Sometimes the prompt just won't show up for this for some reason. You'll notice in the club the frame rate is a little low as well. I think it's just like all the lights here and Unreal Engine 5 just struggling. There, we got the prompt this time. And here's our first instance of cutscene movement. I'm going to get into a cutscene while I'm on these raptors. And I'm actually moving right now during this cutscene. You can't see me, obviously. But I'll be in a different position when it zooms back over to me.
I like his hat.
Yeah, he's partying. He's having a good time. And here we discover that Clementine actually has been double-crossed. Blazer ratted us out. Blazer was not a good robot. So unfortunately, we're about to head to prison.
Wait, why does the gag on Clementine work?
We don't worry about
It's a
that.
robot.
Okay, I'm actually going to do quick optimization here. I'm waiting for the checkpoint. There it is. Reload last checkpoint, and then while this checkpoint's reloading, I'm going to gain control when it reloads. And I'll actually be able to start moving this cage that we're trapped in. You can hear it swinging back and forth on the black screen before we actually can see ourselves. Again, this saves us a little bit of time because normally we don't gain control of the cat until we fully fade back in from the black screen. This is the, if the sewers were the penultimate area for the Zerks, the jail is the penultimate area for our sentinels. Or the ultimate area, I should say. We're going to be dealing with quite a lot of them in here. This is the most dangerous area in the game. This first one, 9 out of 10 times it's not even going to bother shooting at you, so you can just run. Sometimes it will, though, for just whatever reason. We don't know why. But here's Clementine. We're going to rescue Clementine from this cell. You notice that we don't have B12 on us anymore. B12 has been removed. For some reason, though, we still understand Clementine quite well. We're the smartest cat you've ever seen.
Yeah, we've picked up like an entire language pretty quickly.
So we're going to go fetch some keys for Clementine because we totally understood all that. And I'm going to set these a little bit away from Clementine so we can see them warp over to Clementine's hand. We got a little bit of a section here where I'm going to be just manipulating the AI of Clementine to move a little bit faster for us. So, Nick, good opportunity to say anything if you got it.
Yeah, such a lovely close-up view of the kitty.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great seeing all of the pet the robots, and it's reminded me we've been sort of exchanging snuggles for pets, snuggles for love with the robots, and now's a good time to talk about exchanges or exchange rates because of course Little Warriors is a Canadian-based charity, so all of the donations you see on the stream are in Canadian dollars. Now, 72 US cents is about 1 Canadian dollar. 1 Great British pound, guy I'm not biased towards at all, is about $1, 1.8 Canadian dollars. So whenever you see all of the lovely donation incentives like that Celeste bid war for the file name, remember that depending on where you are in the world, your donation may go even further than you first imagined. But if you do want to check up on it before you donate, you can type !rate into the chat, and it'll give you a little handy hint on what that exchange rate would be for you. So wherever you are in the world, whatever your currency is, don't worry, it'll all be converted so that Little Warriors can get their Canadian dollars instead.
Alright, these next couple segments of the jail are the most dangerous things in the game. Since I've already taken a few resets in this run, I'm going to try and play it as safe as possible while going as quick as I can. This part is on a global cycle where we're trying to rescue B12 from confinement. So we kind of audible. Whatever we run into, we just deal with. So we'll see what it looks like and I'll just react to it. The lasers are kind of close here, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to wait for them to move. And then wait for this robot to stop looking. We're going to be on some kind of poor cycles. We're going to jump across here and then down. Ooh, it just barely got seen. I'm gonna risk it. We'll make it. Oh, I believe. And then cutscene movement here. Normally you can't move. You're not supposed to move during cutscenes, or you wouldn't think you can, but we can move during the cutscene here.
Oh, nice.
To immediately run over here and grab, we can just avoid the entire stealth segment of trying to get over to B12. And we are out of here. We've got B12.
All right.
Got a little bit spicy there, but we made it work. I like the kiss me on Clementine's fist there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to open this door, and then I'm going to go for a swag strat once we're in here. Doesn't really save a lot of time, but it's pretty cool when you get it. So I'm going to try and line myself up in a particular spot here on the floor. That's probably good. We'll see. And we've got this closed area that we need to get through, and a window and some bricks. Clementine's going to take care of this window for us. And then when Clementine crouches down, I'm going to jump onto Clementine's head and try and get to this ledge before Clementine would boost us back up. We got the swag. We are through.
Oh, nice.
So normally you
fun.
jump onto jump on Clementine's head, and Clementine stands back up so you can reach that ledge. But we just went so fast that we didn't have to wait.
Love swag strats.
Here is the most dangerous room in the game.
Oh.
I'm going to alert this first sentry is usually not too bad. We're just going to have it come over here, close the door on it. It's usually not going to really be much of an issue. This one's over here, though. We've got 2 sentries to deal with. They're on, again, a global cycle. One of them moves back and forth from a door on the other side over there and this gate in front of us. It might be on the good cycle for me for once here. We'll see. If it's over by the door, this is a pretty consistent setup where you're not going to get hit. I might be slightly too late where it's going to start moving. Yep, that's okay, though. This is dangerous, but we'll play it out. That's fine. Now it will be on the consistent setup for us, though. See, I'll show off how this is much more consistent when we've got this set up. Run this way, run this way. Activate the door. Easy peasy. They will almost never hit you when you've got them over looking at the door and you just run on that certain path. And we've got one more major swag strat that does save a lot of time, actually. A good chunk of like maybe 15 to 20 seconds. There's this long hallway in here, which you'll see in a moment, which we're going to drive down to escape in this truck. And normally you would chase the truck down the hallway as you're being chased by sentinels. It takes a long time to catch up to the truck and jump onto the back of it. But if you're fast enough, you can actually jump back on. You can jump on the truck before it gets to the hallway and automatically trigger that cutscene. So we call this the van skip. So hopefully I can get that. We're going to open the door, and then we're going to go for it. Again, this is a very particular routing thing. If we do it incorrectly, we will not catch up to this van. You have to just route it a very specific way with your movement. You want to jump a little bit wide here and then down. I don't know if I'm going to get this. We'll see. Yeah, I look a little bit far away.
Ooh.
It's fine. I'm going to weave, though, because I don't want to get shot. Oh, I still got one. The last one got me.
Oof.
That's fine. We get another try at van skip. I want to show off van skip. We'll get it this time. Oh, we weren't quite there. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Ooh.
Well, I try this one more time. Hey, Nick, you got anything you want to say?
Yes. At the very start of the run, we had a very big donation that actually pushed us over the $300 milestone. But we were so excited about all of the bid wars and donation incentives being met that we completely overlooked it. So, can we hit our next mini milestone, $350 before the end of Stray? That's less than $3 to make me go woo, $350. Can we do it?
Let's do that, chat. I believe.
Do it for the cats and the robots. The robots have been cool as well.
That's
Not
true.
enough love for the robots. Well, we've given the robots lots of love.
That's true.
Here, unfortunately, we must leave Clementine behind. We will be the last of the outsiders to make our escape. Clementine will lead the sentry bots away for us. Back to the subway we go. We're going to head to the final area. So we are almost done with the run, everybody. Don't have much time to get them donations in for the next incentive. Good time to mention the soundtrack of this game. It's quite subdued at times, but when it goes off, it's really neat. Some real cool synth stuff.
Yeah, I'm really vibing to it here.
Alright, the subway's going to take us to our final area, which is the control room. And we're going to notice that this control room looks a lot different from the rest of the bunker that we've been in. But first, I do want to show off this crowbar that the devs left back here in the back. They were aware that the Zerks looked a lot like head crabs in Half-Life. So they threw this this crowbar that looks like the crowbar in Half-Life back here for us.
That's nice.
Let's go. Now, I do want to avoid the sides of the stairs here, because if you hug the sides, you'll actually get a little bit of additional movement, which is a glitch. So this is glitchless, so we don't want to do that. And I'm going to interact with this robot here in such a way that we can optimize it, helping us get this door open. We got to pair up with B12 to open up this door. We got to work together. So get this robot over here. The prompt didn't want to work for me that time. That's weird. Here, get back over here, B12. There we go. Let's get through the door. And in our final area, the final room of the game, is this control center, where we're going to open up the ceiling of this bunker that we've been trapped in this whole time, and finally let in the sun. So it's again just some optimized movement as we progress through the control room and interact with some objects. This is our last chance to get some shoutouts in, so Bridget, did you have any shoutouts you wanted to get in before the end of the run?
Oh, geez. I mean, my main game that I run is The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass, so I gotta shout out the speedrunning community over there. If you are actually similar to this game, very movement optimization heavy of a run, gotta give them their credit where it's due. But that's about it for me.
All right, we stepped on some keyboards, and we got one final task to do here. There's gonna be 3 locks on this roof that we need to unlock for it to open. So B12 is gonna have to hack into these 3 different locked sections in the room in order to do so. We got one more cutscene that we're able to move through, and I'll try and get that done for us. Our last trick of the run. B12 is going to hack this substation. And then during the cutscene following, when the warning goes off, I'm going to be traveling to the other side of the room. And then I should be on top of a cabinet. There we go. I was right there. Saves a little bit of time to get on that cabinet during the cutscene. And you'll notice that B12 looking a little worse for wear after doing these. We got one more, unfortunately.
Oh no.
And just like any good anime, we've defeated the game and escaped the bunker with the power of friendship. All of our friends helped us get out of here along the way. We dropped B12 in the box. This triggers the final cutscene of the game. While this plays out, I do want to just give out my shoutouts. I am soulmass218. You can follow me here on twitch.tv/soulmass218. I run lots of games like this. I generally run like art-forward, movement-based games, so you'll see me play Shadow of the Colossus, Journey, Abzu, Stray, all those types of games. So if you like that kind of stuff, drop me a follow if you want to see more of that. B12 is short-circuited out for the last time. I promise you, though, B12 is okay.
Whew.
We'll get a little hint at the end right before the credits that B12 is fine. So no need to worry.
Oh.
B12 is okay. But we do get this magical little cutscene of the sunlight hitting this area for the first time in hundreds, if not 1,000 years. And we all know that ultraviolet light and sunlight are going to take care of all them zerks for us.
Oh.
And we get to revisit all of our friends. Here's Momo. And the Guardian, who we snuggled up against first in the run. Also, Doc and Seamus over to the side. We don't get to see Balthazar because Balthazar's down in the Ant Village. But here's Clementine, which, for some reason, the sun deactivates the Sentinel robots. So let's not ask questions. I'm gonna mash some buttons so I can immediately start moving once this cutscene's over. And let's get out of here. It's time to be reunited with our cat family.
Aww.
I do like the message on this door, though, once we get here. City open. The city is actually open. You can freely get in and get out. Time is when I reach the top of these steps ahead of me and the screen turns black. So I will call that out when it happens. Three, two, one, and time.
All right.
And we get some head bobs. We're going to cat jam. We finished the game. Alright, so that's Stray, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you appreciate the run. I definitely highly recommend playing this game casually if you have not done so yet. Again, I did not nearly show off everything that you can see in this game. But yeah, hope you enjoy it. That's going to be it for me.
What a perfect run. That was
Hey.
absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Soulmass. And some fantastic commentary from Bridget as well.
Ooh.
Oh, these cat
You're killing
puns,
me
they're
here.
just-
You're killing me.
There's just too much. I think it's time I got off the mic. I am off for this evening. I'm going to go and take a little cat nap. But if you've enjoyed having me on as host, then don't worry. I'm going to be back tomorrow from the Sonic CD run onwards. So make sure you stick around, though, because we've got a trip with everyone's favorite plumber coming up very soon. After this short little break, I'll be leaving you in the very capable hands of Alara. Don't go anywhere!
Hello, 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 friend shapes. How are we doing? I hope we're having a fantastic time. I'm Alara, and it is great to be back here. It is my honor and pleasure to be hosting Prevent-a-thon for all of you. And I'm not here alone. We've got a fantastic run coming up, so brace yourselves because we have Super Mario Galaxy 2 that is about to get run by none other than Super Viper T302. So, without any delay, let's welcome them on board. Yep, you are good to count down. Wait, hold on just one moment. We just need to do one quick little thing. All right, folks, we're just gonna do one quick little tech checkup real quick, and we will be right back as we fix this real quick. Hello, hello, hello. Like I said, I am back. And can we get a quick round of applause for the fantastic people in tech who got that fixed super quick? But, like I said, I brought a friend with me. So this time, let's bring again onto the stage Viper.
All right, looks like I am back. Again, I am Viper, for short, in case you don't want to type out that beast of a name. So hopefully we should be good for a countdown. I'm going to assume we are. So let's get the Space Mario 2 party rolling. Hold on.
Can y'all hear me in the chat? How we doing, friends?
Apparently I am very quiet.
All right, folks. We'll be back in just one moment. It seems that whatever tech issue is going on, we're going to have to deal with real quick. So be back in just 1 second. Again, it'll be real quick, and we'll have plenty of Super Mario when we arrive. Okay, folks. So, I would like to remind you all that we are here raising money for a fantastic cause. Little Warriors is a fantastic organization, and we have something to show you all in the meantime while we get this sorted out. We were actually given a video to show you all, because we have a video of their Be Brave branch, specifically showing off their graduations. So, I'm going to give you a couple of heads up. One, there's some flashy visuals, so keep that in mind as you watch that. And then the visuals are a little abstract as things are being read over, so I want you all to focus more on listening to the voice as opposed to watching the visuals, okay? So, with that, I'm going to give you all a moment to enjoy that video so you can learn more about it.
I used to believe therapy would be an instant solution to my problems, like an immediate fix. But after coming here, I discovered so much more goes into a healing journey. The adversity life has to offer brings us countless lessons, and it's so easy to let those challenges cloud our mind. Life's obstacles can so easily pile like a snowball on our heads to the point where it becomes one big issue, an issue that's nearly impossible to comprehend nor simply fix. When I came to this understanding, I got why they make us come back here 4 times. It initially felt like hell, and I had no vision of getting better here. That was because I didn't know healing takes time. I was oblivious to the fact that my hardships were too significant to solve in one sitting. Healing is a lengthy, strenuous process that ranges from good to bad days, from relapsing to phenomenal streaks, but it's all a part of the process, and that's okay. Now, I can grasp that therapy doesn't fix you, it guides you, since healing is only achievable through yourself and faith. Coming to terms with this was incredibly difficult because it meant I had to put in the effort and be comfortable with focusing on myself, which I'd avoided extensively. Bad influences, social media, and substances all held me back from putting the energy I needed to heal on myself. I hadn't realized paying attention to your feelings can be so scary and even agonizing when you've been putting it off for so long. Although it was scary in the beginning, I can now understand that when you go through something so traumatic, you deserve the attention from yourself and someone as qualified as a therapist. It's so easy to undermine our emotions and circumstances, but I learned it's vital to talk about them, even when it may not be a sad thing, because nobody should bottle how they feel. So when I reflect on how I used to think therapy was a fix rather than a guide, I think the fallacy in that was not knowing that the key to all my problems is and was always within myself. I just needed the time to heal, the focus from myself, and the guidance from my therapist to reach those solutions. Despite being unbearable at times, I'm infinitely thankful for the experience and connections I was lucky enough to gain. This place has made such a considerable impact on my life that I now have lessons I'll carry forever. I was fortunate enough to come here and be given the resources along with the unconditional support from the staff and my cohort in order to heal from something so many people have yet to heal from. I pray that everyone gets the attention and help they're worthy of, and I sincerely thank the Be Brave Ranch for showing me what true perseverance means.